All right, friends, Stephen and Jana Benoon here with Israeli News Live. Wanted to update you on some things that we are hearing that are going on, but I want to first make sure we understand. You know, things are very fluid, and a lot of things change on a daily basis. But I bring you this information mainly because, if these things are true, if things are going to get really chaotic, I want you as our friends to take steps that you feel for your family that will help your family. And that's why I share these things with you. All right, and so I'm going to get into that in just a second. Also, I want to let you know, our friends on Patreon, I put together a very nice video yesterday, but I have some issues that still need to be worked out. So I'll continue to edit that and get that video posted up there for you this afternoon. I think it'll really be a blessing to you, something you can share with other friends as well. It'll also be on brand new tube. So, because I know some people have some issues with how that connects together. Let's get into what's going on. I got a message this morning from Washington that everything is going to go down tomorrow. And when we say everything is going to go down, we're talking about martial law, but martial law that is more centralized, from what I understand, with Washington, D.C. And I have been told in the past that it could also include the states where they were having issues with election fraud, which would be Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, I believe, Michigan, those states there. That may include that. Now, I don't want us to think that this is some kind of wonderful pipe dream that Trump is our savior and that he's going to come in here and save the day. I'm still concerned about how this is all going to go down. And even as whether this is a real struggle between the elites from the left or the elites from the right, or whether they're all just playing together for the ultimate disarming of this nation, that still remains to be seen. And we know that they have federalized, though, 2,000 of the troops, Jana, over there in D.C.?
Yes.
That's a big issue as well. Big problem there. I actually spoke with my uncle this morning. He was very troubled to hear that. He already knew about it, of course, but he was troubled. He's retired law enforcement, and so that was very troubling for him to hear about that. And because, as he said, military and police are two different trainings, two different mindsets. Military is destroy the enemy. The police are arrest and let the judicial process work its way out. So he even encouraged strongly, especially if you're a Trump supporter, don't go to D.C. You could easily get caught up in this debacle, and that's not a good idea. So I want to make sure you're aware of those things as well. But again, at the end of the day, I feel like we're still in the middle of a psyop. I don't trust things that are going to happen. I know that my own issues have been tried to be calmed, but I still very leery about the things that we're seeing that are happening there. And of course, naturally, regardless of how this goes down, this is going to it could end up turning into a revolution. We don't want to see that, but it's what could end up happening in this country. And so this could really affect many people in a very negative way, breaking down of the food supply chain, things like that. So think about what you need to try to stock up on, things like that for your family, and just what direction you might need to go. Jana, you'd like to speak on some of these things, I'm sure, yes?
Yes, I have a lot to tell you, and there is very conflicting information coming in from our own sources again, that supposedly Trump is going to arrest elites, and then he gave power to the military 2 to 3 months ago already. And all of these, fairy tale that I am hearing. Now, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen, because I don't know if this is going to be true or not. In any case, I am the worst person to ask, because I'm extremely skeptical when it comes to government. And I believe that whether it plays out, either way it plays out tomorrow, it was pre-planned for ultimate demise of this nation. because I'm looking at the background of what is happening with Israel and them getting with China and Russia and building up China as superpower, and they're friends with China. And I'm listening to rabbis where they're speaking about how Edom has to be destroyed, and they're identifying Edom as the United States of America openly.
And specifically American Christians.
And especially Christianity and United States and Europe, they are calling it in their synagogue sermons as Edom, and they're saying that Edom has to be destroyed before their Messiah could even come in. So, and I'm seeing technology being transferred to Israel, where Israel controls and monitors all the surveillance technology. These are very concerning things to me. So if I am hearing that Trump is going to supposedly bring this justice and republic back, I'm very skeptical. Now, if it happens, I'm just worried that in that case, they're going to a plan B where we are going on the Noahide laws. But that's me, okay? I'm not saying that either first plan or second plan will happen. I'm worried about both sides. What I worry about is that we got a word in that our military has been federalized. I hope you understand what that means. It means that military has power to arrest citizens. And I know that a lot of pastors and the psyops are telling you that that will be used against the elites. To me, that's fairy tale still. I mean, if that happened, I would watch it with my mouth open and dropped. Like I wouldn't even believe that this is happening. But if it happens, hey, I'm gonna deal with it then. But let me see it first, okay? But that's, again, what does federalization of police means? This is in a violation of Posse Comitatus Act passed in 1800s, by the way. That was passed for a reason to protect the citizens of the United States. And now that's been violated. And that means that any military has power to come to your house and arrest you without you having due process. I hope that from history, I'm always looking at what happened in history. All the socialists and dictatorships, that's what they used, is military. So to me, this is a very, very dangerous situation for the people. Now, of course, all of these news coming in of Trump supposedly being and staying in power and arresting all these bad guys, we will see, okay? We will see. Just keep in mind the Posse Comitatus being in violation right now, and keep in mind that in history that's what was used against the people. And I never forgot a letter from February 2020 that we received from the same source that explained to us that something has happened. It was before lockdowns, and the AI took over everything. And the enemy was identified clearly as us. We were the enemy. The people of the United States, the citizens, were identified as the enemy. Not the elites of
Right.
either side. It was us. So I want you to keep this in mind. And of course, maybe I am too skeptical and pessimistic, but I just don't want you to have some kind of a fairy tale scenarios and then you're surprised. Anyway, we will see what happens tomorrow. I just would like to talk to you a few things right now, very briefly. Let's not forget, we are Christians, and we were told by Apostle Paul, we battle not against flesh and blood,
Yes.
but against principalities and powers in hidden places and unseen places. And the Greek word used was archons. Okay, we are battling demonic forces here. And I also want to remind you how Apostle Paul said that the whole world is in the power of the wicked one. So it is the wicked one that is in control of both parties.
Yes.
Okay? Apostle Paul said the God of this world is Satan. A God of this world is Satan. So it is us against them and them against us. That's what I believe. You know, yes, God did say that Bible does teach in Old Testament that God installs kings and takes kings away as he wishes. But I also believe that was written for the purpose when God dealt with nation of Israel as a nation. But Hebrews 1:1 reminds us that God in the past dealt with people through prophets and with various other things and through kings maybe, okay? But now, this time, he deals with the people through Christ, the mediator. So it is Jesus in us, and he deals with individuals within nations, okay? And he forms the great nation, the new nation, the church.
Yes.
From all nations, all tribes, all languages, and it's Christ in us.
The hope of glory.
The hope, you know, that's the hope, that's the mystery, and that we are the light of the world through Jesus living in us. So that's what I believe. I don't believe personally, and I know a lot of you are not going to agree with this, and I know that I'll get some hate mail, I'm sure. But I don't believe that God works with Trump. Of course, Biden, I don't even mention him. It's absolutely horrific, that side there. Okay, that's why I came to these countries, for peace and for freedom, not for seeing socialism and communism coming to this country. Very sad, very sad. And as I said, if Trump does anything fairy tale like, to me, I will still be worried that this is new type of deception that comes as an angel of light. And I have, again, those questions for Mr. Trump. And these are my questions, okay? Why is he signing so many executive orders for anti-Semitism? What does it mean? We don't have a freedom of speech to disagree with the religion that attacks Christianity? If we are not attacking people, the Jewish people, they are victims of all of this. We love the Jewish people. We want them to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ, but we must keep the freedom of speech, and we must be free to defend Christianity against theologies that come against it. And that's not anti-Semitism, okay? So why is he passing so many executive orders? They're in protection of Jewish people, but they're not in protection of Christians. Okay, so that's something that has to be, asked. And also, why is he signing Noahide laws? Our nation was not founded on Noahide laws. So why to keep signing this every year? So we need to stop that for sure, because we know Noahide laws are ultimately anti-Christian, and we need to immediately get it out of this land. And another thing is he going to tell the truth about pandemic and the truth about this? Okay, so what's up with that warp speed thing? Anyway, I have a lot of questions if Trump wins tomorrow. But for now, I encourage you to lock your doors. Don't go out. Pray. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. And remember that we have only one advocate for humanity, and it's Jesus Christ.
Amen.
He is the only one I trust in all of this. Anyway, I love you, and we will see tomorrow what happens.
Thank you guys for listening. And again, I'll have this other video by tonight put up that I did last night. And also working on the teaching one as well. I've been doing some more research on Habakkuk, so I wasn't quite ready to pull that one together. But I know you'll be blessed by both as soon as we get them up. God bless you. Have a great evening. and thank you for listening.